If I have good hands, I can stay inside it and stay through it. Coach Clay here. Great hitters typically have great hands. And what's that mean? Well, think about it this way. If I'm putting targets up in a batting cage and putting a ball on a tee, is a hitter going to be able to take a swing and hit those targets? Now, you can say that being able to hit a bullseye in the top right corner of the cage, or hit a bullseye at the bottom of the back of the cage, or being able to pull a ball and hit a bullseye or a part of the net on the left side of the cage is more of a circus act and doesn't directly translate into game success when you're a hitter. And to some extent, that is true, right? Being able to hit a target off a tee is not going to mean you're going to lead the division in hitting that spring. There's a lot that goes into being a successful hitter. But if I think about the best hitters I've coached, if I think about my own career where I feel like I've had good success at a variety of levels, I would owe my success probably first and foremost to the ability for my hands to find the ball and to keep the barrel on and through contact, to give me the greatest room for error there is in my swing. So my hands, right, the ability to find the ball and then stay through that ball, right, as long as possible is key, right, to giving me a bigger room for error and more success. So now, some people just have good hands, and there's a number of ways you get good hands. A lot of it just comes from playing sports. Basketball, throwing a football, hitting a tennis ball, hitting golf balls, okay? That brain-eye hand coordination, right? And the feel of hundreds, if not thousands, of athletic motions, right? Being able to barrel up a ball, being able to put a ball on the strings of a tennis racket, right? Being able to catch and manipulate a basketball through the legs, bounce pass, okay? All these little athletic movements are going to train the body and specifically the hands to have a lot of feel, right? And be able to communicate with the eyes to create a swing with our bat that can find a pitched ball, stay on it and through it, and produce good, solid, consistent line drives. There are some drills that we can do in a cage that are baseball specific that can really help develop good hands. And the better our hands are at the plate, the better the hitter will be. One of which is setting up targets in the batting cage and just seeing if you can get to the ball and direct that ball to that target. It helps with our focus, with our eyes, and really understanding how the hands need to work to position that bat through contact and direct it. Or my favorite drill for developing good hands is the knee drill. You can do the knee drill with side toss, or you can do it off a tee. And I feel like those are the two ways to do knee drill that are best and that are going to give you the best results. So when you put a player on their knee and hit off their knee, I like to use the normal bat, put a player on their knee, right? Typical grip. If you think about where a player's back foot usually starts, they can plant that knee on a pad, a mat. If the turf's soft enough, so be it. Okay, but they're standing up on their knee. They want good posture up top. That front leg's going to be in a straight line to the pitcher. I always have them close that front toe, at least set 45 degrees, if not all the way. And then have a little bend in that front knee so that we've sort of taken away any kind of weight shift, loading, coiling, anything back. We're just going to isolate the hands. In this position here, we have to keep our posture, and now we're just swinging with our hands. And the idea is to start with my hands in, connect, and extend out to that power V, hit everything backside with underspin.
The result is really important, just making sure these balls are hit halfway up the right side of the cage or higher, and really developing the feel for how the hands stay close drop down, and then push and extend out. And if I'm able to just have a good balanced high finish with the bat smoothly and slowly coming back over my shoulder and getting the underspin line drive, I'm doing something right.
If I have good hands, I can stay inside it and stay through it. The idea is to be more between my knee and my belt buckle at the outside corner of that plate. Now what we run into is some people try to swing with their bodies, and of course they're gonna roll balls over, they're gonna lose their balance. Some people try to load in this drill, so they start shifting their weight, falling over. And then other people swing so hard and it starts to aggravate their hip and stuff. We really want the players to isolate their hands. It should feel like a 20% effort swing and more of a letting the hands fall here and then really push away to work how controlled and accurate the hands can be. And if we can hit and follow, stay on that plane, keeping that palm up, even turning out. And what you'll find is you almost have to feel like you're pushing down to a low power V in order for the physics to allow the bat to be level slightly up and through. So there's some coaches that talk about feel versus real, right? What we feel is not actually sometimes what happens, but if we can feel like we're pushing out and away and down, it should produce the bat path we want.
Sorry.
And the same drill here off the tee.
In a previous video, I talked about the feeling of skipping a rock with that top hand. This is where we're doing it, right? That right palm stays up, and to really extend and follow a ball to the backside gap, we almost turn that top hand palm out and get to what I like to call our power V. There's one thing that you can do with knee drill that's really effective, and you've seen it probably if you've been online. Other hitting coaches do it in other drills and other environments, and that is to hit and stop before the hands and the bat roll and finish, okay? So I call it my power V, right? If I'm short and through contact, I can stop the bat before it rolls my hands over, okay? And what will happen is if a player is using their shoulders and their hands are getting away from them, when they try to stop, it'll roll over or it'll pull them this way, okay? And that is a good way to show that player that they're coming around and they're not coming straight to the ball. Because if I'm coming straight to the ball and hitting and stopping right there, the only place my hands and bat should go is slightly up, okay? My palm's still up. It shouldn't come over here. If you like what I'm giving you here, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. More to come the rest of this year into next year. And we'll hopefully see you down the road.